There was a time I didn't think I was worthy of love. Tonight I was laying my son Ripley down for bed. It's something we do every single night. We said our prayer. Like always, I told him that I love him. And he looked up at me and said, "Aw, that's so nice." And then he wrapped his little arms around my arm and he just like cozied in his head into my shoulder and he just fell asleep just like that. And as I was laying there just staring at the ceiling, I realized how 5 years ago I was laying in a small apartment alone thinking that I had ruined my entire life. I didn't have a family, I didn't have peace. I just had this constant ache in my heart, like I wasn't worth anything at all. But then the next day, I made the decision to quit drinking. And I remember at that time, I didn't feel like what was happening was a miracle. It felt like I was losing everything. But now, looking back, I see clearly that that decision gave me everything. That decision would end up taking me step by step, day by day, toward my marriage, toward my 3 sons, towards my business, towards health, towards wealth, towards love, towards everything, towards nights like tonight. There's this verse in Romans 8:28 that says, "And we know that in all things God works for the good of those who love him." And I didn't understand that back then, but I do understand it now. I gave my life to God. I gave it to Christ. I said, "God, lead me." And, sometimes God's greatest gifts, they don't show up as blessings right away. Sometimes his blessing shows up like a decision that feels super hard to make at that time. But you are truly one decision away from a completely different life. You just have to give yourself enough time to see the gift.